Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. Duchess. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis. And supporting me today is this wonderful team that God has gifted me with. One of them is my Faith. Faith has been my assistant unofficially since the day she was born. She used to sit on the podium and do the announcements with me. And now she's almost 18. We've got like about a month and a half.
Yep.
Something like that. And she'll be 18 and she's my official assistant. So yeah, she's our soloist. Although today she's got a special surprise for us. So all right, thank you. And then there is my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz. He's our practitioner. He's my first baby practitioner, but he's our practitioner of the day. He'll be praying us in and praying us out. And he's going to be available at the end for our 1-minute miracle. But he's been with me since 1998, long time. So I'm so blessed to have him as part of this team. So thank you, Oz, for being here. All right. And we're going to continue with talking about light. Today is the last day of Hanukkah, so we'll be lighting the menorah with all 8 candles. And oh, thank you. John wanted to tell me hello. Hello, John. Let him know that I did say hi to him. Okay. Okay. And so also let me introduce the members of our music team. First of all, we have Faith, yes. And then we are going to have Tina singing the 12th. Is that right, Faith? The 12th of this month, and she will be here for Christmas Eve. And then she will also be here for the weekend of Faith's birthday to sing for her. And then our unofficial music team, which are people that have gifted us with their music, is Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker. Even though they don't appear, they have gifted us with their music, and so we are able to do music on Sundays. So I feel really blessed for that. Say hi, good morning, hello, however you want to greet us. If you're here, if I am in a facility, I look out and I see who's here, and I get kind of an energy from knowing who's here. So since I don't have that ability with this software, please do me a favor and say hi, hello, or good morning, however you'd like to greet us. Also, if you'd like to do a watch party, we have a watch party button that allows you to invite your friends to come and see what kind of talks they can expect to receive, and also allows you to talk back and forth because you can't bother anybody, and they can ask questions so you can answer them. So there's that watch party button. Just click on the watch party and then invite your friends. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on God is in this place.
Presence of God, right here, right now, for God is everywhere and always, in all things as all things, in me and you and everything we do. We do it through the power and the presence and the motivation of God. I know these blessings are pure and renowned as we go through our lives in alignment with this, in allowance for the perfection to unfold. We bring all blessings forth into our lives. And just as darkness does not have any power, for all we have to do is turn on the light and allow the light to flow, I know that this same light presence is right here, right now, in us as us. And I know this is a very good thing. And I let these blessings flow forth, and I let the light shine. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. All right. So this next song is We Are All One. And this is by Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. And it is the basis of our teaching. So it's really good to have this song that we sing every Sunday. If you know the words, sing along and sing it loud and sing it proud, because you can't bother anybody. And if you don't know the words, it's a great one to open up your heart to feel the oneness of God that we talk about so much. Here we are.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
All right. If you are here, say hi, hello, good morning, however you would like to greet us. Let us know you're here. When we're in a facility, I can see who's out there, and it gives me some energy. So please let us know you're here. Say hi, hello, good morning, however you like. If you like something you hear, whether that be something I say or something Faith sings or the little special thing that we have today, or prayers that Oz may have, may speak, let us know that you like it. Use that thumbs up. And if you love something, of course, there's always the hearts. We love getting love. And if something that one of us does or says really hits home, please, by all means, use the wow button so I know I've struck dirt. Pay dirt, as they say. It always helps me to get that feedback. So please utilize those buttons. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to let Faith introduce this. And so here is Faith.
And so my special treat for you guys today is I am introducing the a cappella group that I am a part of at my high school, the Talons group, performing Hanukkah, Hanukkah. This was a performance that we did last night, so we hope that you guys enjoy.
Let's have a party, we'll all dance the horn. Gather round the table, tree, dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed, as we like to remind us One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Thank you, Faith. That was wonderful. I really love that. So Faith has been in choir almost all of her high school and junior, well, what they call it, secondary school now or something like that. So yeah, I think you're going to miss that when you graduate.
Probably.
Well, we'll try to keep you as busy as possible singing here. Right? Okay. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. So last week we lit the first candle of Hanukkah because it was the first night of Hanukkah. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, it is because of a story in the Old Testament about Judas Maccabee and his brothers. Now, if you the Greek pronunciation of it is Judas Maccabeus, but we just call him Judas Maccabee and his brothers. But anyway, Antiochus IV had taken over. He was a Syrian dictator, basically a king, and he had taken over and wanted the Jews to worship his God instead of theirs. And so, of course, it caused a war, as usually does. When somebody doesn't respect one another's religion, it usually ends up being a war. So the Maccabees went off to fight this war, and while they were gone, Antiochus decided to trash the temple, not just destroy it, but to desecrate it. And so we come with this idea that the Maccabees come back and they see the temple as destroyed and the altars desecrated, and they are like, oh gosh, we have to rebuild this, and so everybody's trying to rebuild it, and all of a sudden they realize that the candle, they call it a candle, but it was actually an oil lamp, that the candle only had enough oil for one night. And so the Maccabees, knowing that there was a 4-day journey to get there and back to get oil, said, okay, we'll light it and keep it lit as long as possible, because that was the hope of the people. And so they went off and they came back, and the oil ended up lasting 8 days. So that's the miracle of Hanukkah. And the dreidel, which I heard them singing about, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's a little spinner thing. It's got 4 sides and it has a little stem on it, kind of like an apple. And you spin it and then let it go. And wherever it lands, you get a little treat of some sort. But here's the thing, is that there are 4 letters on there. Let me find that real quick. I know I have it here somewhere. I, of course, jump out of order every time I do this. Anyway, here it is. Nun, Gimel, He, and Chai, and Shin. Oh, so there's 5. There's 5. Okay. And these letters form an acronym for the Hebrew saying Nes Gadol Haya Sham, which can be translated to a great miracle happened there, referring, of course, to the miracle which Hanukkah is centered around, upon which these words are inscribed. So in the temple, that is what was put up there, is a great miracle happened here, because it did. the miracle of the 8 lights. But last week I talked mostly about what light means in the world, like, and how it gives us hope. Not the kind of, sitting around hoping for things, but the kind of hope that says there is a better life, there is a better world, there is a better whatever, health, relationship, whatever. And so it represented hope. But today I want to talk more about the light that is within us, that it reminds us that that light is within us. I have this wonderful mentor minister, Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, who I listen to for my inspiration. And I just happened to catch her right after the service last week. And she did this wonderful thing about what the different candles represent. So today I'm going to be talking about that, the way she presented it. It's all based on Peter, Paul, and Mary's song, Light a Candle. But, as is what usually happens, like, I'll have people come up to me after a service and say, God, what you said was so inspiring when you said blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I don't remember saying that. And I'll listen to the tapes or CDs of it, and I don't hear it. And I look at my notes and I don't find anything there. So we hear what we need to hear. What was interesting is I listened to the song and I got nothing of what she was talking about, but it inspired her. And so that's what's important. But first I want to begin with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We're all familiar with that story, right? And the earth was without form, and void, and darkness was upon the face of the water, or the face of the earth. And the Spirit of God moved across the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light. And lo and behold, there was light, and God saw light, that it was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. That's how we know light from dark, right? Okay, so the light is beyond this being an ancient beacon. We call it God's first creature, if you will. Milton wrote, "Hail, holy light, offsprings of heaven, firstborn, heaven's firstborn." So the light is really heaven's firstborn. And throughout history, mystics and poets and prophets and saints of every tradition have celebrated the light. What we say in religious science is that we're celebrating the light because it's what we recognize in ourselves, the light of God that is within us. So tonight, millions of families, actually over the last 8 nights, millions of families will commemorate a night over 2,000 years ago when the Maccabees recaptured the temple in Jerusalem from the Syrian Antiochus IV, overcoming the impossible odds. Judah Maccabee and his brothers prevailed and reclaimed the temple and then set to cleaning it, prepping it, and reconsecrating it. But when the time came to relight the eternal light, the light that could not be extinguished, only a tiny vial of oil could be found in the entire temple. No more oil would keep the light burning for perhaps a night, for perhaps more than a night. And yet, when in faith the lamp was filled and lit, it burned not only for 1 night, but for 8. It was written that a great miracle happened here. So tonight, children will play with the traditional Hanukkah toy, the dreidel, all of a sudden, which I just talked about, that says a miracle happened here. A great miracle happened here. The Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, lasts 8 days. And lights are lit on the menorah and presents are exchanged, all to commemorate the miracle of the oil, the miracle of the presence of God on earth, that place in that moment, but also the miracle of the light of God, the presence of God within us. So the miracle of the light that would not go out is what we celebrate today, the Hanukkah menorah. It has space for 9 candles. So I'm going to go over this. Pardon me while I step away here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Everything in the Jewish tradition is done from right to left instead of left to right. So when we read, it's not from left to right, it's from right to left. Okay, so we're going to do the candles the same way. So this first candle is for the light of God, the light that will not or cannot die, the light that shone for the Maccabees before anything existed. There was God, and then God's light, the light that shines through the darkness, the light which the darkness cannot extinguish. This is the light that lights all the other lights. It's called the Shamas. There we go. I didn't get this cleaned out properly, I guess. I thought I got it all out of there, but I guess I didn't. And the Shamas we use to light all the other lights. So the second candle is for endurance. That's going to be this one. Hopefully I got that one cleaned out enough. Yeah. Notice that I put this on with tin foil so that when it burns, the candle wax doesn't get everywhere. The second candle is for endurance, the endurance that sears through the pain of being discounted, denied, ignored, the endurance that has brought us to the present moment, the moment in which the light shines through the darkness. And we see hope, perhaps for the first time, perhaps for all time. What it means to be seen is to be in the light. The third candle is the sacrifice that justice and freedom require. That one does not want to go in. There we go. The lesson we seem to forget all too often. Too often, we expect others to do it for us. And on a personal level, it's a sacrifice of old ideas, old beliefs that no longer work for us. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said in The Science of Mind that the price must be paid in mental and spiritual coin. Ultimately, it is the sacrifice of a belief in lack and limitation, a sacrifice to the greater thoughts of joy and prosperity, wholeness, wonder, and love. And then the question becomes, are we willing to give up our old attachments, our older ideas, in order to truly be free? The fourth candle is for wisdom. These candles are fat for the thing. Wisdom to know that the time of the peacemakers is to know more, to not know war anymore. As individuals, it's to know peace instead of anger and resentment, to come to know that peace is the platform for the arrival of spiritual consciousness in our lives, to know when it is time for each of us to be the presence of peace, and in doing so, to initiate a new age, an age of wisdom and peace, a dawning of contentment and truth. The fifth candle is for strength. The strength to never become our own foe. How many of us, I wonder, laugh when we say we're our very own worst enemy? Almost has like a laugh built into it, doesn't it? It's not funny. My friends, it's not funny. And it's not a laughing matter. Who will listen to us? Who will respect us if we do not honor ourselves? How can we make a better world if we don't believe that we can make a better world or a better self? We are called to believe in ourselves, in our heritage, in our divinity, in our right to be. The sixth candle is for compassion. Compassion for those suffering, pain, for the old pain, for your pain. This is the candle of compassion, the candle that reminds us to love those for whom extra grace may be required, to love those who have not yet learned the importance of what we believe we have learned, who do not yet know that we believe that we know. It is for understanding, for those who still stand in the darkness. The seventh candle is for forgiveness. Forgiveness for the greater good, for peace of heart, to not let anger tear us apart. Too often in the name of faith or religion, or in the name of just being right, we forget that others may believe differently, but that in an unlimited universe, there is more than one path to paradise. It is a reminder to practice understanding. Let us not be led to anger, whether it is to another's faith or another nation or another person. Let us not let our anger tear us apart, which leads perfectly then to the eighth candle. What did I miss? I missed a candle somewhere. What did I do? Did compassion, we did forgiveness, we did strength, we did wisdom. I missed one. Sacrifice. Oh, the third sacrifice. No, I did that. Huh. Okay. I do not know what the seventh. All right. Well, the seventh candle is for forgiveness. We already got that. I'm not sure what I missed, but I missed something. Maybe I'll get it in this one. The last candle, the eighth candle, I love this. It just spoke to me so much when she said it. This leads perfectly then to the eighth candle, which is unity. One of the oldest Christian greetings is peace be with you. Our music this time of year is full of peace on earth, goodwill toward men and women. It can be a pleasant thought, a hopeful phrase, or it can be a song in our hearts. The choice is ours. Each of these candles has a distinct and very important meaning. So as I light them, again, we're going to light them from right to left. We're going to light the shamus first. And I'm going to say, you have to be smarter than this thing. There we go. I light the shamus first. Hello. There we go. Because it is God, the eternal, the divine, the presence, which lights all of the other lights. In Buddhism, for example, they believe that when people die, their light lights the candle for the next life for someone else. So we're going to light this first candle for endurance, to keep the faith in the face of challenges and appearances, to keep on keeping on. For some reason, these do not want to light today. Then we're going to light the third candle for endurance, or for sacrifice, sorry. Letting go of what no longer fits. That which no longer is appropriate in the lives of the peacemakers. The next one is wisdom. The wisdom to choose peace above all, to be loving, to be kind, to make the higher choice. The next one is strength. I hope you can all hear me. I'm speaking towards something else here.
Yeah, you're good.
I skipped sacrifice, did I?
Yeah, that was the one.
Okay. Well, sacrifice, let me go back to that then, because it's important. I could have sworn I did sacrifice, but that's okay. Thank you. The third candle is for the sacrifice that justice and freedom require. Oh, no, I did do that. That's the one with the Ernest Holmes quote. But anyway. Okay, so I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. The wisdom to choose peace above all. I think I did that. Strength. To remain faithful to what we believe no matter what. Come on, light. Compassion. For those who are suffering no matter their distress or their disease. Forgiveness. To establish and to keep peace in our hearts. And then unity, which is the unification to work on closing the divides between us and to find peace in our hearts, with others, with ourselves, with our God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Hanukkah. By the way, that's the same prayer for Shabbos. So I always want to say Shabbat. And the English translation of that is, blessed art thou. Oh, I can't see. Faith, can you read it?
Blessed art thou, King of the universe, who has made us holy through his commandments. Command us to light the Hanukkah candles.
Thank you. So that in a nutshell is what we do on Hanukkah. Usually we light these candles before the sun goes down, or right as the sun's going down, and they stay lit all night long. But we do that every night. And so the first night we just do the one candle, the shamus and the one candle. And then the second night we light the shamus and 2 candles, and so on and so on. So tonight is the last night of Hanukkah. So today I have lit all 8 of the candles, all 9 of them actually, if you count the shamus. But I thought that was a beautiful representation of that. I had never heard that before. And so when I heard what she was saying, I was thinking, oh my God, that's a great way to really talk about how the light is within us. And it really is our choice to practice any of these, to allow the light to represent to us who we are. We've been sitting in the darkness, so now let's use what we know to rise up and move into the light. It's a conscious choice. It's all about us. It's a conscious step that there comes a time in each of one of our lives when we allow ourselves to be the light that is within us. It's so often that we hide our light under a bushel, like it says in the Bible. We hide our light under a bushel because we think that we're being pompous or egotistical when we let our light shine, but that's not really it. When we let our light shine, we are allowing God to be more present in the world, because that's what the light is within us. It is God within us. And so when we speak our truth, when our hearts know only love, when we live with conviction, the life we know we were intended to live, that time may be now. It could be today. But you must choose it for yourself. A spiritual light burns within you. You know that, right? An eternal light burns within you. Know that as well. A divine light, God's light, burns within you. And the light in your life, the light you throw upon the lives of others, that light is generated in your soul, not some little spot within you. It's the breath of the truth of who you are. It won't show up in an X-ray or an MRI or anything like that, because it's all of who you are. The light is simply generated in your soul, and it cannot be extinguished. We are candles, torches. We may be the light of the world. In the temple of your soul, over the altar of your heart, a light eternally lives at the center of everyone. And everything is in the presence of Spirit within us. The world calls to us. Spirit calls for us. Let your light shine where there is darkness. Let your light shine as brightly as it wants, as brightly as it was intended to shine. Where there is fear, let your light shine. Where there is anger or resentment, let your light shine. Where there is no light, let your light shine. We must remember that light is always greater than the darkness, and not allow the darkness to dissuade us or to deter us in any way. The light is always greater, that you must let it in. Or more accurately, if you truly believe that God is within you, you must let it out. God gave us the light that we would share with others, and the light that we would shine upon our own lives is that light within us. And it is something out there to be captured and then somehow stuffed within us. It is rather something within to be acknowledged and to set free. It's generated in our own soul. Tonight, in millions of homes, those lights of the menorah are going to represent the eyes of God that see the whole world for what it is, a web of light, a web of interconnected light. No borders, no boundaries, no differences on the spiritual level. Those eyes of God, see through our eyes. We have looked and we see that we have cursed the darkness when we've been called to be the light. From the beginning, when the Spirit of God moved across the face of the waters, and the Word of God says, in the beginning, in the ultra dark Muslim pagan fires burning toward unseen evils, and the Spirit of God said, early on, when the fire of God blazed from within the bush that burned but was not consumed in its own. Later, when that tiny amount of oil in the kingdom of God went, even later, time when the light of God shone like a star to guide the wise and the faithful to a place in the manger, or a child was born to anyone in any time who was paying attention. One thing stands out. One thing is obvious. God glows. Light and God's light and spirituality seem to be nearly synonymous. Exodus tells us that when Moses came down from the mountain, his face radiated life. What do you think that was? That was the light of God showing forth from the soul of Moses. Jesus was described as a burning and shining light. So all of this is written on our hearts and our minds and our spirit, that seeing a city alight with lights and fire, there are so many more stories, lots and lots alike. Metaphysicians are traditionally very good at talking about that, and we do indeed need to talk about that light. There's lots to be said. We can study the light, we can analyze the light, we can contemplate the light. There's nothing in all of this. It's greater than being when we are willing to clean out the old, to rededicate, to consecrate ourselves to the light and the principles for which the lights have become the living light of God within us. Spirit glows this. Spirit glows in the candlelight in the temples and synagogues around the world, in homes around the world, and the hearts and my friends in you. You see, in the beginning, God created heaven, but without your love, the urges without, for void of that work, and only you can bring, the void, your joy, your beauty, your love, your wonder, but the spirit of creation moves across your beautiful face tonight. Spirit of creation moves through you in the voice of God that speaks within you, saying, let your light shine. Well, you are going to be the light, and you're going to be the place where God loves. Don't let the lights go out. Let your light shine. And so what does that mean, let your light shine? As she's described it very perfectly, in so many traditions, we celebrate the light because that light is a representation of what's within us. But what does it mean to let your light shine? What does it mean to absolutely allow that light to come forward and be in the world? It means that when we're feeling anger, we need to let go of that anger and focus on that spirit of life that is within us, that light that shines brightly from our heart, from our soul. It means that when we see those lights and we are depressed, or we are unhappy, or we are sad, or we are grieving, that we recognize that that light signifies hope. It signifies that there is hope for a better world. It signifies that there is a light that is shown from our hearts, from everyone's heart, into the greater world that represents the Spirit of God as it flows through everyone. What it means is that when it comes time for you to acknowledge something that you have done, take the credit. Allow yourself to take the credit. It's not selfish. It's not being egotistical. It is absolutely allowing God's light to shine through you. For you are given all kinds of gifts and skills that other people do not have. Your skills, your light, your life, your gift is what you share with the world. And in sharing that with the world, what you are sharing is the light of God. So as we celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and all of these traditions, when we celebrate them with light, what we're actually doing is celebrating that light that is within us and allowing it to come forth, and not trying to push it under something, like light will find a way to come forward anyway. But we need to create an avenue through which it travels from our heart, from our soul, into the world, and create a better light for the world. Remember, I talked a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about the sea of receptivity, that we can put into it beautiful thoughts, or we can put into it negative thoughts. And everyone in the world is free to take from that sea of receptivity. What do you want to populate the world with? Do you want to populate the world with that light of God? Or do you want to populate the world with all of the things that we tend to focus our attention on? How we don't feel free because we have to wear a mask, or how we don't want to get vaccinated because we're afraid of what it's going to do to our body, or how the world is turning crazy with all the fighting and rioting and all of that, or which political party we need to support, or who should be president, or who should be in the Congress. All of those things that we focus our attention on, is that what you want to put into the sea of receptivity? Or would you rather put the light of God in there? Would you rather focus on what does that mean in a world where the second coming of Christ is really about us reaching that consciousness where we understand that Christ is who we are? That's what he came to teach. We just got the message wrong. Somehow we decided we had to worship him. That is not what Jesus said. He was talking about, as an example, not as a great exception, but as an example, he was talking about how we can live our lives in such a way that others will want to know our God. We can touch others with that light that lives within us, because that is God within us. He said, there are many, in this world, there are many mansions. We could see with all of those mansions if we were but to allow ourselves to be totally immersed in the idea that God is living within us, living within all of us. There is no place where God is not. I can't look at anyone in the world and say God doesn't live there, because God is in and through all of us. We are all one. We are all related. That's one of the things that I took the most from my Native American teaching, was that we are all related. And it doesn't, we see evil in the world and we declare it an entity and we say it has all this power. The Native Americans say, no, those are the brothers of the shadow. And that the shadow world just tells us or shows us or gives us some comparison where we know where light is and where darkness is. Again, the light, right? It doesn't matter what tradition you follow. There's always a teaching about the darkness and about the light. They phrase it in different ways, but truly it really is about the light that is within us, that is God's light. And when we shine that, when we shine it on a situation, we can produce a miracle, because that light shines so brightly that it illuminates the solution to whatever challenge that is, right? It is now 11:11 again. Hi, Kathy and Fred. I always say Dr. Fred Vogt used to be the senior minister at Mile High. And Dr. Kathleen Vogt was his wife, my friend, my boss. She was the dean of the college. And they were very good friends of ours. So we always ignite. He believed that there was magic at 11:11, that was when the veil between the worlds was lifted. And so the dead and the living could commune at 11:11. It happens twice a day. So whenever I notice that it's 11:11, I always say, hi, Fred, and hi, Kathy. I've had so many experiences of Fred at 11:11. I can't even tell you. We were at, Kathy and I, Dr. Kathleen Vogt, I should say her proper name, we're at a convention or a conference in Big Sky, Montana one time. And I got upset. Somebody said something and I got upset, and Fred had recently passed away, probably a month, maybe 2 months. And I went running back to our room, and I walked into the room and I smelled his cologne. And I looked at the clock and it was 11:11. And I was so overcome that I smelled his cologne, because I knew we had checked in and I knew there was no cologne in the room. And then Kathy, worrying about me, came running after me, came into the room, and she said, oh my God, that's Fred's cologne. And I said, I know. And then right then the 11:11 turned 11:12 and there was no smell of the cologne anymore. So I've had a lot of those different experiences. And what I know about that, even 11:11, is a signal that the light of God shines within us, and that there is no discontinuation. There is no place where God is not. There is no place where the light of God is not. It's just that we have blocked the light where there is darkness. And all the simple solution to that darkness is to shine the light on it. So when our practitioners are praying for you, what they're basically doing is they're shining the light of God on that situation, bringing forth that light of God into the situation to reveal the truth, so that that condition no longer has any power. Because the light of God has more power than the darkness ever could, right? And just because there is darkness doesn't mean that there's an absence of light. It just means that we are perceiving an absence of light. Cats can see in the darkness. We need the light to be able to see it, but it's always been there, and it always will be there, because God never ends. God never changes up on us. God never gives up on us. God never leaves us. We are all one. We are all related. Mitaku Yasin. All right, so this week, would you do this with me? I know that Hanukkah's over. I know that lighting the menorah is over. But this week, what I'd like you to do is think about, as I was lighting the menorah, all of the different candles and what they represented, and why they represented the things that they represented. Think about that in terms of your life. Where have you not expressed wisdom or relied on wisdom? Where have you not had endurance? Where have you not been willing to sacrifice those things that are keeping you from the good of God? Where have you not expressed forgiveness? I don't remember all of them in the same order, but I'm just saying, like, this week, take some time. Just contemplate what it is. Maybe light a candle every day this week, just as a symbol of accepting the light into your heart, accepting that your light, the light of God that beams forward from your soul, is now being born into the world by that light that you are lighting. Will you practice the light this week with me? However you do that, whatever form it takes, please practice the light with me this week. Let's have a prayer. In this moment, I just become so aware of the power and presence of God, to that place within me that knows beyond human understanding that God has simply always been there, always will be there. It's all there ever has been, all there ever will be, and all there is right here, right now. Only God. And so that is where I find myself, in the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that one infinite wisdom of the ages that is God flowing through each one of us. I know that same truth to be so for this God's team that I have the pleasure, the honor to utilize here. For Faith and for Tina and for Lynn and for Oz. For we are one in that infinite power, that infinite presence of God. And that light, that beingness, that love of God shining through us allows us to be on this human level doing the doingness that our beingness is requiring of us. The beingness of God is allowing us to perform those functions here in the world that allow that message to go forth and be in a greater expansion of the world. But we are all one. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that wisdom of the ages that is God within us. So we operate as one team, one God, one power, one life, one team. So I know this to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, and every person who is watching, whether that be in real time or later on, because we are all one. There's no place where one leaves off and the other begins. God is the backbone. God is the structure. God is the light, the love, the beingness that flows through each one of us. I know there is only one. We are all related, Mitakuyasin. We are all one. So I bless this coming week because I know that no matter what the circumstances of our lives, no matter what drama seems to be pulling at us, tugging at us to give in, we focus our attention on that light of God and the hope and the power and the presence and the love that is the promise of God in those 8 days of oil. The promise of God that all will continue and that all will be light and that all will be well. And so this week, I just bless it with so many opportunities for us to see the light within us and within others, to recognize how beautifully that light shines, and to allow ourselves to let our light shine fully, completely, beautifully, powerfully. So I know the same truth to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer right now. Because I do know that whatever condition we are experiencing, the power of God is more powerful than that condition. The light of God shines in the darkness and allows us to see that which we have been blocking that light from us, from our perception. It shines so perfectly through us, in fact, that as I pull back the veil to reveal this truth, this spiritual truth of perfection that is underneath that condition, as I pull back that veil, I see now perfection in the lives of every person whose name is in the ministry of prayer. I accept it, I claim it in their name as good and very good. And I just celebrate that. I give thanks that it is done. To be in service of this way, in this way. To know God's truth. To see God's light. To be the power of God. I give thanks for all of this. As my heart fills with gratitude and love, I just let this be. And so it is. Amen. Oh boy. Sometimes it's hard to come back from prayer. I would love to just stay in prayer 24/7, but that would be kind of escaping from reality, I guess. All right. This is the time for, or this is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already received and that which you have manifested but has not yet shown up in physical form. This is the way that you activate the law of circulation in your life. We give and we receive. It is cyclical in nature, so as we give, so we receive. Please go to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page, there is an affirmation or a blessing that we use to bless all money that goes in and out of the center. And so we ask that you say it with us because it's so powerful to bless the money. It's powerful for the giver and it's powerful for the receiver as well. And as we're heading into December, please be aware that you only have like 4 more weeks, I think, 4 more weeks to get your year-end giving in. So please contemplate that as you think about giving today or over the next few weeks. So please go to oasiscsl.org and about 2/3 down the page, say this offering affirmation with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. All right. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners that we call the God Squad that are in our ministry of prayer. And their entire purpose in doing practitioner is to see the truth that is underlying that condition. And they are available to pray for those requests every day for a week. So if you have a prayer request you would like us to pray for, please put it in the comments section. If you don't want it to be public, you can always direct message one of us and Faith will make sure it gets into the private Facebook group for our God Squad. And let you know also that if you would like to be part of our God Squad for praying on those requests, you can do so. You don't have to be a licensed practitioner necessarily, as long as you are willing to commit to doing positive affirmative prayer every day for a week and to keep those requests confidential. Then let us know by saying yes in the comment section and Faith will add you to that page as a member of our God Squad. I want to let you know that Oz is available after the service for a 1-minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever condition you are experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. It's not a time for counseling. It's just a time to allow him to pray for you. And the way you do that is you reach out to him through video chat on Facebook. If he doesn't answer right away, it means that he's on the phone with someone else and call him back later. Okay. And then also, please be aware that our licensed practitioners are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. You will reach out to them, let them know that you would like an appointment. You will set up an appointment, and they will work with you to figure out how you're going to pay them, either by Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. However you're going to do that, it's up to the individual practitioner how they get paid. But then they will reach out to you at the appointed time through video chat to provide that spiritual guidance. So take advantage of our Ministry of Prayer, our God Squad. They're awesome. They are just awesome. If you would like to be part of our online community, getting information about what we're doing earlier than the rest of the world gets it, just type more in the comment section, and Faith will add you to our public-facing group page on Facebook, which is our online community. All right. Bracelets. Let's see. I need to get to that other part here. We have bracelets and mala beads by Brooks and Bailey. I saw one of her designs on Facebook that I want, and I rang her up and said, can you substitute the stones in it? And she said yes. So I invite you to go to their Facebook page as well, so you can see all of the different designs. It's the white one. It's so beautiful, and I'm going to have, of course, amethyst as the beads. I think they're turquoise in the picture, but anyway, all the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, and you can contact them by Brooks and Bailey at 0307@gmail.com. And arrange for that. They have wonderful clasps on the bracelets so that they don't fall off. It's a circle that you put a bar through, so it keeps it from just dropping off. I lose bracelets like crazy. All right, next is Faith.
And we're approaching the holiday season, so please check out the Mystic Brew, where we have intention jars as well as the kits to make your own intention jar. You can find all of that on our website at www.themysticbrew.com, as well as follow our Instagram and Facebook for all sorts of fun promotions and activities going on within the store.
Perfect. Thank you. And then we also have, as an adjunct to that, Angel Renee has these beautiful intention candles that are $10 each, or $25 each, sorry, that you can light while you are working on your intention, and they help you to focus. Then also we have these little tea bags that you put in your bathtub, and those are $10. And those are also a way for you to focus on something. It's beautiful scents and whatever, to focus on your intent while you are in your bathtub. All right, then we have Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's music. We love to support those who support us, so we invite you to go to her website and pick a CD. She does not sell it by the song. You will have to contact her by email because she travels all over the country singing, and she can't update her website. So I don't know if she uses Cash App or Venmo or how she gets payment. But she will tell you how you can pay for the CD, and she runs around the country with these CDs in her trunk. So you will get your CD. She'll send it to you. Karen Drucker also has gifted us with her entire collection, 20 CDs worth of songs, CDs, songbooks, just everything, karaoke. And her website does work. So you can get on there and you can purchase a song, or you can purchase a CD or a songbook, or all of the above. And we love to support those who support us. So please go to their websites and purchase some of the music. Especially since you've heard a lot of the music here, you know what you're getting, right? So, and check out our website, www.oasiscsl.org. It has all of our, the sermons are videoed for the last year and a half, and the sermons are on audio for years prior. And it also has pictures of the events that we've had at the center, so you can see what our congregation looks like. And also know that you can go on YouTube and SoundCloud and get that information with S. Tucker. The videos are on YouTube and the audio is on SoundCloud. All right, so I'm going to turn this over to the last song for the day. This is a wonderful meme to get stuck in your head. It's a way of blessing your whole life, including the money that's going out. So learn this song if you don't know it, but sing along loud and proud if you do.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I'm thankful today, for I know that the darkness has nothing to sustain it, no power of its own. And that when it seems like it's dark, all we need do is let the light be. I know this is good and very good, and I let it be so through the week, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. I wanted to remind you also that purchasing something from Karen Drucker or Reverend Ferry Elaine, purchasing that music is a great Christmas gift to give to somebody. It's the gift of positive affirmation in their lives. So go on there and buy them. Also, I forgot to announce that we are open. We are going to have a service Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. That's Eastern Time, 8 o'clock, right, Oz?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And so in California, that would be 5 o'clock. And Central Time would be 7. I'm getting this time zone thing. We love you. Thank you for being here. Come back and see us next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. We are going to return to the Advent topics starting next week. So join us to next week and every other week. Get vaccinated, wear a mask, stay safe. We love you. Goodbye.